Hello everyone, welcome back. It's the time now to look at the next team, and we are now going to look at the preview of Kings 11 Punjab, the team that's been struggling for quite some time. They've just had 2 years of great success. One was at the beginning of the IPL, and then one was in 2014 when they made it to the playoffs and then to the final. This team has struggled a lot, but they've always packed a punch. They've had a lot of talent. They've had different captains. They've tried every single thing that's been possibly done, and yet haven't been able to satisfy to the potential or meet to the potential that the squad has. How will 2020 unfold for them? For starters, they're going back to UAE. UAE had been a very lucky venue for Punjab. In fact, it was in 2014 that the Kings 11 Punjab juggernaut began to roll, and the momentum that they got in UAE was what thrusted them into the playoffs and into the finals in that year. Could it be a repeat of the same this year? There is a possibility. They've had a few acquisitions and a few buys. Let's look at that when we discuss about the Kings 11 Punjab squad.
So this is how the squad for Kings 11 Punjab in this year's IPL looks like. At first glance, you look at the squad, you do find a fair amount of Indian representation, cricketers who've played for India with international exposure. There's also a good amount of under 19 mix. Kings 11 Punjab have gone ahead and got in Ishan Porel, Ravi Bishnoi, who's had a wonderful under 19 World Cup there. They've got a few chinks in the armor. They don't have a genuine Indian fast bowler apart from Mohammad Shami. Arshdeep Singh did look good, but they're slightly lagging there in the experience bit there with respect to fast bowling. They've got a few good buys like Krishnappa Gautam and Deepak Huda. Now, these are players who've played, who've got a lot of IPL experience. They've done well, they've come up the ladder. Kings 11 could be a platform where they can consistently play in the middle or the lower middle order and then take it forward from there. With regards to the overseas options, they've got their man back. Glenn Maxwell returns to Kings 11 Punjab, and Kings 11 Punjab and the IPL move to UAE. It sort of gives you a fairy tale feel where Glenn Maxwell was at his devastating best in 2014 at the UAE when the IPL was played there. He's going to have fond memories of that particular edition. Can he rekindle that? He's also had a good series in the recently concluded Australia versus England ODIs, so he's coming back to form. James Neesham, a very solid player, much underrated, but he's someone whom Kings 11 can consistently play in the middle order. One question that Kings 11 would be having in their minds is how are they going to address the issue of playing Gale or Puran? Gale, we all know the Gale storm. When the storm blows, I think it literally takes the opposition out of the game. But does Gale really fit in today? There are fitness issues. He doesn't run much. You're looking at utility players. That's where possibly Nicholas Puran might edge him out there. What's very important to see is this time they've also got a solid coach, a coach like Anil Kumble. He knows the Indian players well. He has a fair amount of knowledge with the overseas players. He's someone who can lend direction to the team. I think if Kings 11 Punjab can have a good start, which they've had in the past 2 years, and sustain it, then they can possibly look at going ahead from bottom of the table into the playoffs.
You had a look at the entire squad of Kings 11 Punjab. What is their best 11? The 11 that could possibly take them into the playoffs and then get that confidence back. At the top, you're going to have KL Rahul. It is going to be a bit difficult to see what all can KL Rahul do. He's coming back from the 6 month lockdown layoff. He himself has had a bit of doubt. Can he do batting, keeping, and captaining? There is a bit of an issue there. I wouldn't want him to keep. Let him be a pure batsman, and he's an excellent fielder. He can be a pure batsman, a captain, and that can be it. Who partners him? You're tempted to have Gale there, but logic feels it's better to have Mayank Agarwal opening with him. You're looking at one person going ballistic and one person being steady. Mayank Agarwal is a perfect foil for KL Rahul there. At number three, it's a good option to have Karun Nair. While you can always think about looking at who else can come in there, I strongly feel Karun Nair deserves a place in this 11. He's a consistent player. He didn't have many chances in the last year's IPL. Given a chance, he's a quality player. Remember, he's got a good record in the white ball and in the red ball format. So he should come in at number three. Now is where the team's middle order comes in. Who comes in at number 4 and number 5? These are two crucial positions. Number 4 has to be Nicholas Puran. Nicholas Puran has had a phenomenal year and a half. He is the next big thing from the Caribbean. He can don the gloves. He is the wicketkeeper for the team. Nicholas Puran at number 4 is definitely a positive sign for Kings 11 Punjab. And who comes at number 5? Is the big show. Maxi. You cannot ignore Glenn Maxwell. Glenn Maxwell is coming off an excellent run. We've seen his run in the past. Glenn Maxwell at number 5, Nicholas Puran at number 4. They are the perfect middle order batsmen who can just take the game away from the opposition, be it while scoring first or be it while chasing. Number 6, number 7, and number 8. If you look at number 6, it's a good thing to have Sarfaraz Khan there. Remember, Sarfaraz Khan has worked on his fitness. There were a lot of eyebrows raised 3-4 years back, but he's a guy who's back with a lot of points to prove, and he's had a good start. He's had a wonderful domestic season. Sarfaraz Khan at number 6 is going to be the ideal foil for the guys coming in earlier to him. He at number 6 also gives a sense of a finishing touch. He can come in, get those quick 20s and 25s. It more or less sorts Kings 11 Punjab's lower middle order issues. Number 7, number 8, number 9. You're looking at number 7. I'm tempted to play James Neesham there. James Neesham is a very underrated all-rounder. He's someone who can bowl those 4 overs, come in with those handy 20s and 30s. You might want to say that you're filling up three of the overseas quota members in the middle order. Remember, out of this, you've got Glenn Maxwell who can turn the ball if needed. James Neesham is an assured 4-over bowler in a T20. Well, who comes at number 8 and number 9? I'm getting in Krishnappa Gautam at number 8. Very handy bowler, very handy hitter towards the fag end of the innings. Krishnappa Gautam at number 8 is a lot more solid in terms of sheer power that he will exhibit when he comes down the order, and is a wonderful bowling option, especially during the power plays. Number 9 has to be Mohammad Shami, the lone Indian fast bowler. He's a solid pacer, has bulked up his fitness. He looks fit as freak, and I'm sure he's going to do a wonderful job there. Who does he partner with? You've got to have Chris Jordan there. Chris Jordan at number 10 is going to make a lot of sense. He's a very good bowler. He's coming off a very good T20 series that he had versus Australia in the recent past. Chris Jordan and Mohammad Shami, perfect foil to each other. And at number 11, I'll want to have Ravi Bishnoi, the young under 19 star, one of the highest wicket takers in the under 19 World Cup. If you're looking at Ravi Bishnoi, a classical leg spinner, he's a wonderful talent. Under Anil Kumble's guidance, he's going to only flourish. This team has got a lot of talent. One might say that why are we missing out Deepak Hooda? He can be a like-to-like substitute if a Krishnappa Gautam has an off day, or perhaps if they want Deepak Hooda instead of Sarfaraz Khan. When they need Gale, they can trade it off with a James Neesham or a Puran wherever necessary. That's when Rahul will start to don the gloves. But I feel this is more or less a set 11, unless of course there are injuries wherein you would want a Sheldon Cottrell instead of Chris Jordan, or maybe try Harris Willian there. More or less, this is the core of the squad. You've got Arshdeep Singh, youngsters wherever needed. But with this squad in place and with this 11, I'm sure Kings 11 have a lot to prove. Thank you.